directamente ahí yo, ¿no?
Sí. Aquí tengo más espacio. El problema es este. Y eso está de buena manera de...
No, sorry.
Oiga.
Cortando el movimiento.
Otra. Ahora viene mi saque de caca. Saque caca.
¿Estás o qué?
Estoy.
Vamos.
¿Qué te parece desde ese lado?
¿De qué lado?
Tu lado, ¿qué te parece? ¿Qué ves? ¿Qué me has visto?
No noto mucha diferencia.
¿No, verdad? El mayor problema es ese, es cuando estoy... Tiene que poner ahí, tengo que hacer eso. No existe esto hoy.
Lo mejor es que los otros no lo saben.
Lo pongo en mi Instagram ahora. Y el resto bien, lo que me notaba que no estaba haciendo todo el día era un pelín más de aceleración. Que seguro que era porque estaba volviendo otra vez,
Claro, claro, no.
estaba muy lento, pero si te aceleras un pelín. Y eso no me duele, pero eso no me duele.
No hay que matarse ahora en el cae la mitad.
Ah, ¿qué tenemos? ¿7 horas esta partida?
7 no. Pero vamos, sí, hay tiempo de mano arriba. Las píldoras que hay que tomar, un par ahora, luego más adelante.
Pues yo supongo que haré a las 12. ¿Qué es ahora? Cuando comamos a las 12, píldora.
Una más.
Yo voy a tomar 2.
Este componente que nos estamos tomando.
Igual,
Yeah.
que me ha prescrito el doctor. Pero no me preguntó si tenía... ¿Tienes algo chungo? ¿Alguna condición preexistente?
Olla.
Inteligencia brutal.
before I jump up top here. We're gonna do the spin first before I jump up there, and it's gonna start a 10-minute warm up. With about 2 minutes left, we're gonna get in touch with the live feed, so we'll announce you all. A few things, it's best 2 out of 3 sets. 6-6, we'll go to the tiebreaker, 7-point tiebreaker. Just as the way that you're used to. Few things that I'm going to be doing is I'll be introducing you guys and announcing the score before every point in every game. I'm going to be calling violations. There are a few things I'll call immediately with or without dispute, including footballs, which will be called without warning. Touching the net, reaching over the net, clear violations that are available. You'll be making all the line calls. I'll get involved only if there's a dispute. Player disputes an out call, looks up to me for confirmation. I'll either confirm or overturn it, and that decision's final. If I didn't see it, I didn't see it. Unsportsmanlike conduct, I don't think we have to worry about that with you guys, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. Remember, you are on a live microphone, so.
Just keep smiling, Dave.
I still say things that be careful.
Any questions before we do a spin? Anybody want to do a spin here? I'll take it. All right. So we're going to have you guys give a call, okay? The spin is down. Your choice. No. Your choice. You guys are going to return. All right. So now let me just make sure I've got everybody right here. So we've got Macy and Marcella. And you guys are going to receive, you said? And you guys are on start. Okay, perfect. I'm going to start the clock 10 minutes. And then just 2 minutes ago, I'll give you a heads up. Okay. If you want to use it for warm-ups or...
Yeah.
All right, I'll hold on to it. That should be fine. Yep. Yeah, we're pushing it. All right.
So lightweight.
They've done it again. Johanna Runt and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnish and Anna Maria Zabori. Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Huntington Country Club in Huntington, New York, bringing you the 2022 APTA Men's and Women's National Championship, sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Viking and Paddle Pro, and local sponsor Joe Quintillion and his distributed capital partners, Signature Premier Properties, Diodario and Company. I'm Jerry Viant, along with Patty Hogan, bringing you the women's round of 16 between the number 9 seeds Jade Curtis and Martina Ondrekova and the number 6 seeds Macy Elliott and Marcella Rodesno. And Patty, this is going to be a tremendous match. I can feel it. They're head-to-head 1-all. Why don't you introduce the players on the court, and we'll get into some tactics and thoughts that we have about this matchup.
You bet, Jerry. Welcome back from Australia. We've missed you this year. We're glad you're here in Huntington. This is a beautiful backdrop for this incredible match that's starting to feel like a final. These players are so good. That's Martina Ondrekova in the deuce court. Her partner is Jade Curtis, who plays out of the ad court. She's got the royal blue hat and the white tennis skirt on. On this side of the court, the ad court, you just saw that forehand return to serve from Marcella Rodesno, and her partner in those red pants, Macy Elliott.
And we've got all 4 women are teaching professionals in the Connecticut area, which is always fun. So a shout out to all their members who I'm sure are tuning in and following this match. Like I said, the top, they are head-to-head 1 each this season, and the last time they played, I believe, was in Short Hills.
Short Hills, Jerry.
And you called that match, did you?
I believe I did, Jerry. Just that one.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Jerry, I mean, this is incredible. These teams 1-1. They know each other's games. This really does feel like this could be the finals of a national championship, and here we are, just at the onset of this national championship here. And, I predict 2 hours.
Okay. Well, we do have 3 former national champions on the court.
Yeah, I mean, this just shows the depth of field. Both Elliott Rodesno and Curtis and Stoklasova, not Stoklasova, Ondrekova. I mean, they had incredible second-round matches that we got to watch a little bit here at Huntington earlier this morning. That just shows you the depth in the women's game. And, the game is just incredible. And these 4 talented pros, they're just spreading it. They do paddle camps, they do teaching, and everybody loves watching these players. And I think this will be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of Curtis Ondrekova's match that they just played against Cobbs Brown O'Sullivan. They were down 2-5 in the first set and came back and won at 7-5. They were up 4-love in the second set. And I believe it was 4-3, 5-3, and then they pulled it out 7-5. And like I always say this time of the year, there's one thing to have some tournament nerves, but nationals, it's always, got to play your way into it, and it's the composure that you're going to need over these 3 days to come through the national champions. Jade Curtis is the only one who doesn't have a national title. The other 3, I think, Macy Elliott and Marcella Rodesno, 2020, remember that?
Sure.
What a Cinderella story that was. I mean,
incredible.
We called that match together, and the stands were rocking. That was a match to remember. And Martina Ondrekova, of course, she also has a national title.
With Gabby Nicolescu, 2016 Nationals.
So got a lot of experience. And we have Tom Peer, our umpire, up in the chair. He's going to make the announcement, and he will be calling the score and overriding if asked. He will not be calling the lines. Players call their own lines, and the umpire's call decision will be final. So, tactics. It's going to be interesting. It's very warm today, and let's talk about this beautiful setting before the match gets started, Patty. We've played many a match here, and you can. Huntington has redone their hut. It's fabulous space inside. It still has that amphitheater feeling because we're kind of down in a beautiful valley, and now they have some natural grasses on the side of the hill.
Yeah, I think there's a hidden tiki bar I heard behind all those grasses, Jerry. I'm going to go on a little search later on this afternoon.
I'll be checking. So it's warm, so that is going to favor the backcourt more. It's going to be easier to, get more balls off the screen. The ball's going to be bouncing higher. Drop shots will be a little easier to run down, and like we had talked before we went on air, we do expect to see quite a few drop shots. Create some movement.
These teams with their matchups, they know each other, and you'll see, I think Radesno Elliott will tend to play more of their shots to Andreikova out of that deuce court, Jerry, what I've seen this year when they've played.
Yep.
And your point about Curtis and her rise in the game from, when she started beginning of this year to now is just incredible. I watched her earlier today, and she's just got tremendous paddle instincts, and she has nerve, Jerry. She's got courage out there, and she's willing to take the shot at that spot. And that moment when all of you might be feeling a little nervous or whatever, she's going to crush the ball. So I don't think in the big moments, Elliott and Radesno will be hitting to her side of the court necessarily.
Right, and it has been fun to watch her rise. She is the head paddle professional at the Country Club of New Canaan under Anna Maria Zabori, and I think she's been paying attention.
She's a good listener, Jerry.
And her partner, Martina Andreka, is a rackets professional at the Greenwich Country Club. And Tom Pierre is about to introduce the players.
From Stamford, Connecticut, also Martina
Andreikova.
Andreikova, got it.
Oh.
We have Elliott and Radesno won the toss and elected to receive. Players ready? Good luck.
All right, Jade Curtis serving. Here we go, Patty. It's Macy Elliott in the red tights. And the play will be for this team to set up her backhand in the middle off the deck.
Yeah, you see how far that ball flew out because of the warm weather, Jerry.
See, Andreikova is looking into the sun on these overheads.
Joe, are you surprised by Radesno Elliott choosing to return in the first game
No.
after winning the toss?
No.
That's temperature related or matchup related?
I think a bit of both, getting into the game. I always preferred to receive that first game just to be able to swing away. But also I think temperature related. I mean, look where Marcela Radesno was standing right up on that baseline. She wants to take that ball early, and it's going to be sitting up. And interesting that Jade Curtis is serving first. Nice big returner serve down at the feet of Curtis.
All right, I'm ready to make my pick, Jerry.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Please tell. I'm still leaning forward in my seat. I haven't like got
You're
comfy
still
yet.
getting comfortable. I understand.
Tell me.
I feel like Elliott and Rodesno. I think this match is going to be long, and I just think as the match goes on, I think it might favor them. And Macy Elliott, has she hit 25 yet, Jerry? I just feel like she is such a tough competitor, and how, you know, she maneuvers from the baseline, Jerry, from that deuce court. A lot of times, the person who controls baseline play maybe does it out of the ad court oftentimes,
Yeah.
except if you were on the court in the deuce court. And Macy Elliott does that from the deuce court. She has a wonderful court sense, amazing anticipation. And I just feel like this match is going to go the way whatever happens to Macy Elliott, Jerry. I feel like she's going to be the difference in this match.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
I do. I just feel like they have the experience as a team. They haven't had a particularly great season, but it's nationals. I think they understand they need to really start out with paddle 101 like that, and not come out and think they have to win it in 2, 3, 4 hits. And if they look back to how they played in Darien that year, I mean, they were like a dripping tap. They made, we could count on one hand how many errors they made. They were just basic, long points. It was very clear what their strategy was, and I think they got away from it just a little bit, which is easy to do. You want to hit those big rollers, you want to hit those slash drops, but sometimes it's just not the right time. And as we all know, you want to eliminate the errors.
You know, I think all four of these teams, all four of these players, Jerry, they never lose matches to someone they shouldn't lose to. You know, like we talk about Elliott and Rodesno having a little bit of an off year. I mean, everybody, so many teams would love to have an off year like them. Their results, as you said, were inconsistent. They had little ups and downs, but I mean, like we said, in Short Hills, they lost to Martina and Jade. Boston, they lost to Anika Nicolescu. They had a loss to Shea Sutter, twice to Hanish Sabori. Everybody's got losses to Hanish Sabori. They had a win over, well, you go back to Nationals. They beat Cooper Hanish Nationals last year. But you just feel like they're the ones that are potentially capable. If the unbeaten streak of Zabori and Hanish, is to come to a stop, and I hope it doesn't. I want them to continue their dream season in a way. It'd be a great thing for the sport. Oof. But either of these teams actually could take them out. So the fact that they're up against each other, knocking
in the round of 16?
In the round of 16, and they're not on Zabori and Hanish's side of the draw necessarily early on, that's huge, I think. Do you always feel, Jerry, that you had matchups that you probably liked every matchup. I mean, for most mortals, there were teams you matched up better with than other teams.
Yeah. No, there was always, you had your favorites, but I never looked at the draw. I didn't want to know. I just wanted to make sure that I was ready. Because if I wasn't ready, it didn't matter who we were playing or what the tactics were. This is Macy Elliott serving.
Yeah, and you look at Curtis and Andreyko this year, Jerry. I mean, 2 losses to Hanish and Zabori, 1 to Elliott Rodesno, and 1 to Anika Nicolescu. That's a phenomenal season.
Yeah. And their last tournament, Philly. And Jade Curtis, of course, took the year off last year. She was down in Florida, so
So she's quite pleased with the 60 degrees we're going to have today.
And the game's presenting itself again. You know, she came back, had a fresh look at it, and she's serving to Martina Andrekova, who has that big, flat forehand off the deck. Wow, nice shot.
And that's the best of, that's what Martina can do so well, Jerry. I often remember hearing you talk about her drive and when it works and when she can be leaning in to the court, hitting her forehand. She is tremendous. When she gets a little flat-footed, sometimes she gets a little deep and she's going sideways and trying to hit forward. That's where she runs into a little bit of problems off her forehand.
Yeah, very smooth off the deck, off of both wings.
Yeah, she gets that two-handed backhand going. You know, when she's really feeling it, you see that two-handed backhand come into play.
And that's testing the foot speed, as you just mentioned, right on cue. Andrekova does sometimes tend to stand too deep in the court, and so she is susceptible to being beaten in the corner, making her go parallel, or on that shot, which is a good move, making her have to chase that ball up. And I'm sure if the drop shot opportunity comes, they're going to drop Andrekova over Jade Curtis, who is underlay, foot speed extraordinaire. Curtis is extremely quick. There's the play.
And Jerry, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and for them to have execute that play, Rodezno, their net positioning has to be rock solid. Right, they can't have any holes in their positioning. And I did notice in Philly a little bit, and I think it was Short Hills too, I saw their positioning was not so solid, and there was holes and there was reaching errors. And when you're forcing a player to come forward and drive off the deck, like, well, that one came off the back screen, you've got to lock down your net. Have those backhand volleys ready, which is what they did. Good pressure from Curtis there on that deep lob. Elliott saw her going to come in.
You'll see a lot with Rodezno and Elliott where they'll switch sides, and Macy Elliott in the red pants will often be the player to the left, handling a lot of the overheads because she's got that overwhelming forehand overhead that just can hit that back screen, and she's going to make Martina chase that thing all day long. And she hits it very effectively when she's straight ahead from Martina.
Andrekova is returning really well off the deck. There's that two-hander back, and I love that compact early preparation.
That's a shame. Really good return of serve so far from Andrekova out of that deuce court, Jerry. I like that she's feeling this. I feel like everybody's feeling this. I mean, this is early going in this match, but both these teams had really good first round matches, and they all got in, you know, they all got their swings in, and everybody's right out of the box swinging. Everybody's, this is an impressive showing.
Nice rip by Elliott.
Martina said to Macy Elliott, Andrekova said, if you do that shot to me, I'm going to go right back and do it to you. I love that.
That's the risk.
That is the risk because the play is so far over to the right, and you saw Redesno kind of go toward the middle. But that's maybe the second or third time that Martina's taken that ball on that really wide angle cross court on Drakova.
There's no sneaky little blitz there. You can't hit a forehand volley when it's this warm. It's tough. That low at your right hip, it's going to be tough to keep that ball in, especially if there's any kind of pace on it.
Especially if your grip's slightly over from Continental, Jerry. It's really hard to get any bite on that ball.
Andrekova's getting a lot of signals, and I think it's best that they come back and chat. That's a good move by Curtis, because you need to be clear what the game plan is there, and you see the switch.
Jerry, and you can just feel from these players, they all know this is so early in this match, but it is so critical right now, this moment.
Yeah, I always say, you know, those first 4 games, you're just getting into it, getting a feel for the ball, getting your nerves settled. And right now, it's Curtis Andrekova who are looking very comfortable.
Well, they had such a test in that earlier match, Jerry.
Yeah.
I think you got to see a little bit of it. And
yeah, they really had to play.
yeah, they did. And there's Andrekova showing us. She flipped over that paddle, Jerry, and that's where I think it's going to be critical on this warm day. 2 controlled volleys. You're really going to have to pack it in, get yourselves really close to each other so you can commit to those backhand volleys. And then, you know, to your point, you can't be reaching. The balls just flies off your paddle in the warmer weather.
That's 3-love.
Andrekova Curtis, they lead the first set 3-love.
Elliot Redesno is still trying to settle in. They have not found their A game just yet. Curtis Andrekova looking mighty sharp. Andrekova hitting some big returner serves. And the pressure of Curtis, you know, she will blitz. She likes to come in behind the ball. She'll take that ball off the deck and come in behind it. She'll come in behind Andrekova's ball. So there's constant pressure.
I kind of felt that Andrekova and Curtis had to get off to a really strong start, and they have. I mean, they've shown up nicely here. I felt that if they got a behind on this team, I think Elliot and Redesno are a really good front-running team.
Yeah, so this is Marcela Redesno. About to serve. Controlling the speed of play, I think, is going to be critical for Elliot Redesno this game. I just sense that Elliot wants to speed it up. She wants to get Andrekova moving. But the risk is, with the ball bouncing up, Andrekova can really drive the ball, and then they're stuck having to handle a tough volley. So they gotta be patient. They gotta wait for that right ball. Oh, here comes Curtis.
30-love.
Good hands by Redesno.
Andrekova's looking into the sun on this side, right, Jerry?
Yes.
Right there.
Yep.
So that's the only thing it might be okay to go after her in this game, because when she looks up, she's going to be blinded for a second. But I'll tell you, Andrekova's done a wonderful job of just expanding the court. She's hitting her forehand and really spotting tremendous amount of those wide drives. I mean, this looks definitely like it's a strategy
Yep.
to stretch Marcela Rodesno way over on her forehand volley.
And there's one thing to have a strategy, and there's another thing to be able to execute it. And
15.
it's all Curtis and Andrekova right now.
Did you see how low Rodesno got? And she got up.
All right, 40-15. Chance to get on the board. They'll feel good if they can get this game. Whew.
See, I love what Andreikova's bringing to the table here, Jerry.
Yeah, she's like, so what? You're gonna show me all the balls? She's ready to go. And they're on the board.
Game, Elliott, Rodesno, Andrekova, Curtis lead 3-1 in the first set.
I'll be curious, Jerry, if Elliott and Rodesno go after Curtis a little bit in her corner because to try to cool Andreikova off.
Yeah.
Andreikova's baseline play is the difference here right now.
Yeah, it's the hot hand. And whether they go away from their pre-match strategy and recognize what's happening while it's happening.
Love 15.
And that's what it gets down to. And when you get this caliber of play, it is about making the adjustments and constantly changing as needed during the play.
Love 30.
Such a tough spot up at that right shoulder.
Was it going out, Jerry?
I don't think so. I think she had to take it. And Dracova's going to try to change. Oh, got
That was
Get it to
incredible
lob.
serve. That was an incredible serve right there. That's not thunder. Those are overheads, Jerry.
Love 40.
And that's what we saw in Darien. Rodesno just building the point, waiting for the right opportunity. And she had the patience there.
Elliott, Rodesno, Andrekova, Curtis lead the first set 3-2.
So you saw it, longer points, a little more stable. I think they're breathing better now. Heart rate's come down. I think the match starts now.
The match starts now, and these are wonderful women to watch. Let's talk about what's going to happen tonight, Jerry. We've got some Hall of Fame inductions.
Oh, yes.
Yes, two of our greatest players. Jerry will be handling the induction for Anna Brzova, and I get the honor of inducting Vicky.
Vicky Stoklosova.
Oh, that's right. I have to use last names, Jerry. Sorry.
Yep. And you know I love to say their names.
You do. You
Yeah.
love those ovas.
And I like the whole thing with the Bratislava and just. Yeah. No, very,
it's-
very special evening tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. This is Macy Elliott serving.
Oh,
Love 50.
I have that shot, Jerry.
Need to put that shot away and look, just play a very long, long game here and see if they can tie it up. Yes. Oh. Right move.
I love Curtis's instincts.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the first awkward shot Andreeva hit today. You see that?
Yeah.
She just kind of pulled up. I thought she was going to crush another forehand. And all of a sudden,
I think it was a function of Macy's push serve. It doesn't come up very high, and it came kind of straight at her, so she couldn't get out of her way. Again, it comes back to, you know, your footwork. Kind of pushed it back as a lob, but, you know, found a way, just get it back in play. Again, pressure by Curtis.
yeah, Curtis has a lot of movement, Jerry. Up, back, up, back, up, back. I mean,
And yeah, like you said, with the instinct, you know, she feels when Andreeva's going to drive that ball down low, she's in. She also will make the move from a deep lob from Andreeva, so that can throw the timing of the net team, and you.
well, it's a little disconcerting when you're trying to watch the ball come at you at pretty high speed, and then you have someone jumping in front of your face, and it definitely is a distraction.
See where Elliott and Radesno are still staying with the game plan of going back to Andreeva on the deuce side. And there goes Curtis again.
See, I think that's a good overhead to keep Curtis honest in that ad court, Jerry.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, she's got a lot of movement in, and if they can hit the overhead to Curtis's left toward that side screen on that ad court, I think that gets rid of her ability to kind of, you know, be disruptive up there out of that ad court.
You gotta
Just the one shot, Jerry.
keep her honest. And they're rushing it too much.
And out.
I think Elliott Radesno just have to be a little more patient, a little more, just hit some more balls.
And I think take a cue from Andreeva's approach on, you know, she's been driving so well, but kind of off-speed shots. Power when she gets it, but off-speed a little bit. And sometimes when you get out there, Jerry, you're so juiced in this situation that you almost overhit.
Yeah.
And I think Marcella Radesno is just guilty of that right now, a little bit.
Oh, changing the look here. Radesno's going to stay back. And I think that's a good play because Ondrekova, really, her return to serve has been spot on.
What a volley. Macy Elliott just, saw Ondrekova lining up that forehand. She had seen it go cross court like 9 times already in this match, and she just stuffed that.
Good call. Elliott let Radesno know that Curtis was sneaking in behind that.
Elliott, Radesno. Games are tied 3-3 in the first set.
And 3-0.
This is big for Curtis and Ondrekova right now, Jerry. Obviously, I mean, they had the jump start out of the box here. They were lights out, and it's hard to maintain that level of play. And what is it? Their level of play, or were Elliott and Radesno a little sluggish start there?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yep.
Elliott, Radesno. You can see what their game plan was, and they were just a little too eager.
And your
But
point
now
about
they've
the
settled
tempo,
down.
right, Jerry? And
Yep.
slowing it down and the pace of play. A couple of games went really fast, and I said when we started, I thought this could be a 2-hour match. I told our guy here it could be 3. Get ready. You got to pre-eat up here.
It's always that fine balance, being consistent, yet being aggressive, waiting for the right opportunity.
Jerry, shout out from Hall of Famer Dave Allmuller.
Oh,
Out in Chicago, enjoying the action.
hi to Dave.
30 up.
He knows all about preparing for nationals.
Oh, yeah.
Nice serve by Ondrekova. Up the tee into the screen. Again, it's that forehand volley below the level of the net. It is such a tough ball to keep in. You've got to get it up and over the net, and conditions are warm, and it's really hard to keep that ball. Got to close the net.
But what a drive, Jerry, from
Yeah.
Elliott to get that ball down so low. I mean, it's a volley in the warm weather that is so difficult. In the cold weather, you don't worry if the ball is, it lands short. Here, it's just going to sit up, give someone an offensive opportunity.
It's Radesno's favorite shot is her forehand return of serve. So 30-all, 3-all.
40-30.
Two missed opportunities there, Patty. I mean, return of service. aim higher.
Yeah, and you've got to play the score, Jerry.
Give your opponents an opportunity to miss, I always say.
Yeah. Let them volley. Let them volley. I always think if your partner misses, maybe, you're a deuce or you're at 30 all, and if your partner doesn't put the ball in play, you have to put the next ball in play. I just think little moments like that are what make the difference with these top players in these matches.
100% agree. You have to be mindful of what's happening. Okay, Marcela Rodesno serving. 3-4, first set. This is the women's round of 16. The 2022 national champions, and smart play by Rodesno there. As fast as Curtis is, she was able to find her feet.
So, Jerry, just taking a quick look at the draw, if the winner of this match potentially would come out the bottom half of the top of the draw, potentially seed-wise, would be Anika Nicolescu.
It's not a bad day of paddle. What's the breakdown of the draw, just so people want to tune in and follow the rounds? The women played 3 rounds today.
I believe 3
on
rounds
Friday,
today.
and then tomorrow back on
3-2-1, I think, for the women.
Right.
If you get to the finals.
So quarterfinals tomorrow at 9.
Correct.
Semifinals, I'm trying to look at the draw there. Semifinals at 2. And then the finals on Sunday at 11.
And if you're anywhere within driving distance, we love you watching the live stream, but come out to Huntington Country Club. What a beautiful setup. This bowl-like atmosphere here, Jerry. There's monster amount of viewing. Huntington's done a great job. I see some extra, areas. Beautiful, expansive deck that they added on when they updated their, they did their renovation for their paddle hut. Beautiful setting.
Yeah, they've done a fabulous job.
And the director here, Lisa Redloff, doing everything to make this national success. She does a wonderful job here with everyone.
Yeah, every 10 years a cycle for Long Island. I have very fond memories of several matches right here.
You may get to talk about one in particular tomorrow morning, Jerry, when you come on the air. Robin Fulton's in town, one of our game's most distinguished players.
We were reliving some highlights this morning. It was nice to see her last night.
Oh, what a pickup.
Great hands.
30-40.
Just kind of rushed that, just not quite settled in the transition moves.
Yeah, she's got to set her feet. I mean, she almost moves her feet too much. She's got to just settle in there. Oh.
40 all.
And she knows, and that's the difference. You can't follow an error with an error. You've got to put the delete button, hit the delete button instantly, and then just keep playing.
Again, on track over with that monster return.
What a beautiful lob right there. It caused a lot of confusion.
And I think that's what Rodesno's got to do more of, is get those lobs up higher. They're both looking up into the sun. Make them look up there for a long time. And of course, when you're lobbing that high, you got to make sure that the highest part of your lob is before the net. When you make your opponent's head the highest part of the lob, you're going to miss long.
That was close. That made me nervous.
Yeah, it's always tricky, right, to play the deuce court player because of the angle when you're righties.
And It's interesting. Redesno and Elliott are not forcing their switch that I normally see them do. And I think it's because of, out of regard for Andreekova's play of that deuce court. She was pulling Redesno wide and breaking them down. And by leaving Elliott over there, she's got a much longer reach. She's able to kind of shut down that offense from Andreekova out of the deuce court.
Nice nick. Roller by Redesno. There's that play again, Patty, that you said Andreeva was doing a nice job.
And
Elliott, Redesno, score is tied 4-4 in the first set.
And I think, Jerry, Elliott and Redesno have made that adjustment that I just referred to, and Macy Elliott's doing a great job of covering Martina's cross-court shots. So now it's time for Martina Andreeva to change her tactics slightly. I think she's got to move her drives around now. She can't go back to that spot. That spot's not, breaking them down anymore.
Yeah, pick higher spots. Andreeva has that flat overhead, and she aims for the neck.
Well, the first one she hit, Jerry, I almost thought it was going to go out of the court. She can hit that high bouncer.
All right, so this is more of the play that I thought we were going to see it from the get-go. Both teams just showing a willingness to wait for the right ball, not trying to force it. Redesno's got her range again with her lobs.
Yeah, you can tell she's feeling it now.
Yeah.
She's looking really comfortable.
Yeah. And for them now, oh, there's
she
a
got
shot.
her.
Yep. Andreeva, well done. I mean, that is not an easy shot. She's going over the low percentage third. The net's a little bit higher. And she got Elliott to reach.
Really smart move by Redesno and Elliott just to take a little time.
You're whispering.
Well, I was. Because
I don't think they can hear you.
No.
It's okay.
sometimes I like to whisper.
Okay. Well, I just don't know whether we have to lean
Well,
in.
I wanted to listen to what they said.
Oh, is that what it was?
But 2 games ago, as you recall, they missed back-to-back return of serves at a crucial point. I think it was a 3-all, and I think they just wanted to make sure, Jerry, it didn't happen again.
Okay.
I'm going to stop whispering now.
You were in the huddle with them.
I totally was present in this match. I'm all in, Jerry.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, there it is again.
Again.
Yep. So, Elliott Redesno have got to change their tactics because they've done a fabulous job of shutting down Jade Curtis, but they've got to recognize that Andreeva is the hot hand, and she is making that play. Take another look. Change the look. Change the structure.
So you don't think Carl Lebanon would favor their strategy of setting Martina up and see how many times? It looks like it's a forehand forehand drill here. They're
Well,
just
yeah.
they're feeding her, they're testing her, but she's answered the call. She
Right.
started really strong. I have to whisper, here they come. No. They started Martina Andreeva, came out of the box. Lights out here. Cooled off a little bit, and then, again, she's found that spot. Why hit her the ball?
Yeah.
Go into Curtis's ad court and just keep her honest a little bit more.
Well, the general rule is if they make 2 out of 10, let them have it because you've got the other 8. But it's not. That's not what's happening here. She's making these plays. So Coach Carl would say, let's change the look.
Love 15.
So other than Andreeva getting a return a serve, she's not getting another ball right now.
I just never thought her forehand would dominate this match, Jerry, and it is. But I think it's to your point that you said really early on about, like right there, you could see a pretty big gap in the middle of the court. You see Macy Elliott reaching, had a really awkward chicken wing type of volley that was forced on her. She did it herself because she didn't take one more step over.
The opening was there, and Curtis took it.
The other thing I'd like to see a little bit is Radesno's play, Jerry, out of the ad court. I feel like she needs to throw some lobs up the line.
Yeah.
I feel like every one of her lob is going cross court and they're just waiting for the shot. She's not disrupting the rhythm of Curtis and Andreeva enough with her lobbing.
And that's usually her play, is to get Elliott the backhand off the deck.
Exactly. That's why I'm kind of surprised. Haven't seen it yet.
And Curtis has to look into the sun when it goes backside like that.
Good overhead. You saw how long Elliott let that ball drop. She waited, used her legs.
Good spin. Choosing to stay back on Andreeva, so that's a good adjustment. Get their team into the point.
Sure, they tried Australian. It didn't work. Didn't stop Andreeva. Oh, here we go to the whisper.
Set point. I'll explain the whisper to our viewers in a minute. Forehand volley long. Deuce.
Wow.
Again, smart play, staying back. Andreeva's going to take something off of her return and just get their team to the net.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's no up the line lobbing yet. Great dig.
Little confusion there at net.
Yeah, but
Nice
really
dig.
good get. Great court coverage.
Again, it's that forehand volley below the level of the net. It's such a tough shot.
On the move.
And she wanted to hit a drop shot. You know how I feel about a drop shot.
Yes, I do, Jerry.
You don't want to hit a drop shot up.
No, you do not.
Especially when it's warm.
Game, Elliot Rodesno.
Well, that was a huge hold.
5-5, first set.
So the whole thing with the whispering, just for you viewers at home, we're not that far back from the court, and we have a clear view of the players. We're not kind of stuck far away somewhere, and we kind of feel like we're on the court. So every time this court, the team that's close to us gets together to huddle, Patty and I lean in, thinking we're going to hear them, and then we have to whisper so we don't interrupt them. I think we're okay.
I think so. All right, here we go, up the line.
Yeah, because I don't have the feeling Elliot Rodesno are executing their plan. They're more reacting to the balls that Curtis Andrekova are giving them.
As the baseline team, Jerry.
Right. I know what their plan is when they're at net, but in the backcourt here, that's
See,
the
right.
lob that we saw Rodesno do so well, cause the confusion, get Curtis to come behind Andrekova a little bit. And those were the type of lobs that she was missing long earlier in the match, and I think that kind of shook her confidence a little bit. Now she found the range again, Rodesno. That's more of the speed of play style that suits Elliot Rodesno.
This is a gigantic moment. Wow.
Elliot Rodesno not looking to switch in the backcourt. We'll see Andrekova just pushing those balls back deep to Rodesno's backhand. Middle of the court is a little bit of a safer space to go when they're in this formation.
Yeah, it's almost like their lobbing strategy is to try to lob high, but I don't see that their lobs are working with each other to break down Andrekova and Curtis as much as I've seen in the past. Wow.
And Marcella is quick too, Rodesno. She is fleet of foot. It's going to be really tough to have any drop shot winners.
Again, Andrekova bummed she didn't come up with that shot, and smart move here just to take a little time. They all know this is huge right now in this match.
Yeah, you kind of, it's a little bit of a seesaw for momentum, right? That both teams are just clawing their way here. I love that overhead from Curtis deep in the court at the singles line. Make Radesno have to get out of her own way.
Yeah, you can see with Curtis, Jerry, she moves her grips all around. She's got all sorts of spins she can come up with.
We haven't seen that in a while. Oh.
See, that's great lobbing right there.
Much better net positioning by Elliot Radesno that shifted quickly when that ball went over to Curtis. Ooh. It was the shot. Andrekova just rushed herself. She would have got the reaching. She saw the opening. I think that's what Elliot Radesno are doing a better job of. And I had said that in the beginning of Paddle 101, of when they're going to create this havoc, that their net positioning has to be set. They have to have somebody straddling that middle line. Don't give Curtis Andrekova the opening. Nice touch.
Beautiful volley. Makes up for that other miss she had a couple points ago. They're getting the hand slapping down like Nicolescu, Jerry. When she hit Roxy's hand one time in Philly so hard when I was watching the stream. It was incredible.
There was a lot of enthusiasm.
A lot of enthusiasm.
30-40.
Jerry, you can just feel Radesno's play out of that ad court in the last 10 minutes. Really different. She's really stepping it up.
Yeah, she's relaxed into it, and she's playing at her rhythm.
And as we know, we've seen she can just hit forehands, backhands all day long off the deck. She loves it.
That's a good combination from Elliot there, going over the left shoulder of Andrekova and making the team split.
And it's part of their strategy is to make Andrekova hit a ton of overheads in this match. Great cover.
Oh, she's got it.
Oh, my Lord.
Nice. That was like a drive-by.
Wow. Wow. Even though Elliot and Radesno did not come up with that point, they came up with those shots. Unbelievable court coverage. Pretty exciting, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing in it right now. Nice serve by Andrekova up the tee, forcing Elliot to lob. Good combination of overheads from Curtis and Andrekova. I mean, they're well placed, good speed, not giving them anything to attack. That's long. Again, that's the risk when you go hit that ball so hard into the back screen. You gotta close up and have your backhand volleys ready.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of feel like Elliott's gone quiet here in the last couple of minutes, where Redesno's not on fire, but she's on course. She's just, you know, making every shot. Her percentages are phenomenal here. Oh boy.
There's a break.
Elliott Rodesno,
First time in the match.
lead 6-5 in the first
Elliott
set.
Rodesno have clawed ahead, and I think, you know, Elliott is not taking the risks that she was before. You know what? You're not going to hit through them right now. Just do what you can to play yourself back into this match and be willing to be more patient until the shot comes. She had a couple of opportunities where she could have hit down the line, but I don't think she's feeling it right now. So, smart play.
You know, and that's a great point, Jerry, because oftentimes players get out there and they force their shots or they force their play that might have worked 2 days ago, but, you know, it takes a lot of maturity to play right now the way Elliott is playing. She's playing within herself with every shot. She's doing a great job scrambling. She's really been, you know, has defended Martina's cross-court forehand drive. I mean, that was really the game changer when they made that adjustment, I think, in this set.
Yeah, the speed of play, the cut down, all four players have cut down on the unforced errors.
Jerry, I see our tournament host, Dwayne Hayden, on the other side. We've seen
Yes, I see him
Dwayne out
looking in.
here. He just loves paddle.
We have the Dwayne Hayden Long Island Invitational, which is always a favorite stop on the APTA Tour in December here at Huntington.
Met his daughter earlier. She's handling a lot of the duties on the inside today. Doing a great job so far.
So let's see how Elliott Rodesno handle being ahead for the first time this match. This is
I want to know if Andrekova will hit one down the line forehand in this match, Jerry.
wow. Gotta let that go through. Yeah, you have it in your head. You want to go in on the blitz, but if that ball comes back to you going down, it's below the level of your waist. Let it go through. Let your partner get it. Throw up a lob. Start again. It's one of the hardest things, right? Because you're just so revved up, ready to go. You can feel it.
15 all.
I'm going cross-court return to serve, Jerry.
Okay. It's down the middle count for cross court.
Sort of.
It wasn't down the line.
It wasn't down the line. I still say it's not going to happen.
Elliott Rodesno not in any rush to switch back. They're both capable of playing both sides. Backhand drive down the line. Does
Not
that
a
count?
forehand. No. No.
Nice rip.
Yeah, you know, Rodesno and Elliott in particular has made some really good scrambling plays, Jerry, but her lobbing is getting herself in a little bit of trouble. I'd love to see her go for a little bit more height on her lobbing.
And you say that because
Because on that play, she lobbed short, and then they just crushed the overhead, created that real athletic play that she normally liked, and fortunately it landed on Drakova, and she got a good offensive opportunity. I just think when you lob short, and it's a warm day out here, and you have the overheads, you see everything Curtis can do with the ball.
And again, you saw that ball get switched over to Curtis, and Elliott didn't shift. So then she's staying lined up with the ball and making a reaching error. Gotta shut down those plays. Change the rhythm on herself.
Are we 30-40, Jerry?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You have to keep breathing, Patty.
This is intense.
Desno's got to change her lobs. She's allowing Curtis Ondrakova easy opportunity to execute their plan. Not creating enough movement right now.
Yeah, I think if she lobs everything cross court and they go deep, she's going to get away with it. Lobbing short on a warm day like this, there's just too much overhead variety Curtis and Ondrakova bring to the table here.
All right, tie break. Jade Curtis. Good serve down the tee. And pressure from Elliott. Smart move, making that first volley. All of a sudden, you've got somebody in front of you. It's enough to pop that ball long.
But you saw Curtis trying to handle that first volley. That shows you how warm it is out here on Long Island. I mean, she was pretty quiet hitting that volley, and the ball just popped.
I think Elliott should take that backhand lob and go down the line over Curtis's left shoulder. Even though she wants the ball, but going cross court, you know, would entice it to come back to her more. I think she's got an opportunity to create some movement at the net team. Right now, there's not a lot of movement. Yeah, but that ball there, right? Take that ball and go down the line over Curtis's left shoulder, pull her open, and then see what she does with the next ball. Same thing. That's a good lob. Curtis handles it beautifully by going back deep to that same spot. I think she's got a target on that spot there. Here it is now. Same.
Right, I think Elliott's trying to find Ondrakova to a fault here. To your point, she's passing up some opportunities to really open up the court a little bit for themselves.
I mean, one of the toughest overheads to hit is when you have to move back and to your left. And they're so locked in. Oh, that's a little too warm. That's disappointing. Uh-oh, she's got to get underneath that banner. Showing her flexibility
She's
here.
skinny.
Yeah,
She's got the height where
Yeah.
her feet reach the ground, Jerry. Yeah, that's a little unlucky right there.
Yep. Yeah, so they're in the groove of hitting those same spots on the court. They're not being forced to think about changing and something else is happening. Whereas if Ellie could take some of those deep backhands and just throw up a lob deep down the line over Curtis's left shoulder, make her go back and left and see what comes back. Nice overheads by Curtis.
Jerry, you
Yeah,
went
it's-
to Australia and Curtis became a rock star. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Her play?
Yes. Yeah, she's got different looks happening on that overhead. Yeah, that ball got away from her. She kind of lunged at it.
One, serving two.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if she had a thought to drive that ball for 1 second, Jerry, and then kind of was indecisive.
Yeah, couldn't catch up with it. Okay, 1-2. Sondrakova serving.
Wow. What a shot.
Lob snowboard.
A lob, a little bit of bite on that ball. Backspin, Jerry. Who knew you could win a point with a lob today? Jerry Vicky Stoklasova is enjoying the action, getting ready. I'm sure she's finally putting the final touches on her acceptance speech tonight. She's
Vicky Stoklasova.
So-
We can't wait to see you and Anna Brazova tonight.
she's loving this match here, Jerry.
Has she got any tips? She giving us any tips?
Well, not yet. She just said, watching my Slovak sister, an
What?
old partner. She wants to know if this game is played in the Caribbean. It looks so hot. She got fooled by that fake tiki bar back there.
That's a down the line shot.
Not by Andreikova.
Yeah, you could see that coming. Be careful.
Wow. Almost went out. Did it hit her?
I'm not sure. Did she make it? Let's see what the score is.
We got 4, serving 1.
Must have hit her. Yep.
I thought maybe it tagged her heel. Hate it when that happens.
So my friends in Australia, my childhood friend who I grew up with, Rex Guthrie, just sent me a note. He's watching.
Rex is watching? Rex, hello.
Yes. From Adelaide, watching live.
Rex, it seems like forever since I've seen you. Oh, how fun is this, Jerry? Everybody's chiming in, enjoying this. And I saw Robin Fulton over there, Hall of Famer, Cindy Prendergast, Lauren Zink.
A lot of eyes on this match.
Oh, yeah.
Phew. both feet off the ground on that one. And Drakovas again with the big forehand.
Yeah, she just overpowered. There's no way you keep those volleys in unless you're still quiet on top of the net. Wow, what a return. 2 phenomenal volleys, Jerry.
See, that's a good lob right there, right between them. Just again, she changed the timing on herself. Just hit that a little too quick.
But you know, that's how she plays. And I've seen her make that shot so often, Jerry. But again, the score, and to your point, hard to execute when you change it on yourself in this moment.
3-5. Clawing their way.
5, serving 4.
Yeah, Desna's, she's hating that shot. She can't believe she blew that ball wide.
It's again, it's just, it feels like it's just a little bit of a tussle, you know, to when to be offensive, when to take that shot, when to go for placement and wait for a better ball. Elliot Radesno continue with the same strategy of staying back out of respect of Ondrakova's return to serve, which has just been lights out this match.
Yep, I thought Elliot's play would be what would be the decisive thing here, but so impressed with Ondrakova and Curtis out of the box here today. And they've kind of negated any offense from Elliot altogether here. Whoa.
6, serving 4.
And like we said, Elliot's just played with a lot of maturity here. Hanging in here. Great defensive kind of set for her.
You could just feel the hunger. Curtis wanted that ball. She has not backed down.
That's what I'm saying, Jerry. I think that's what makes her special in this game. She wants it in that moment. It's the first rip we've seen from Elliot. Might not have been the time for it, Jerry.
And she didn't really need to because they're not coming to net. Right? They were back. Oh, and Radesno comes up with a huge return to serve down the line. Finds the right hip.
She hadn't done that, Jerry. She pulls it out. Clutch. Clutch return of serve.
What's Andreka we're going to hit here?
She tried a forehand drive straight ahead, Jerry.
Wow.
Elliot Rodenzo with the first set. 7-6.
Well, that was some clawing, right?
Jerry,
that
I have
was,
to catch my breath.
Yeah, that was a really, I mean, both teams ebb and flow. There was not one clear go-ahead. I mean, Elliot Rodesno did not go ahead until
Yeah, 6-5.
6-5. So listen, we have some fabulous sponsors that we would like to acknowledge that are all part of the APTA tour.
Shout out to Viking. Viking, one ball to rule them all. One ball is consistently chosen for the world's highest level tournaments, league play, social events, and weekend outings. Viking. For the last 25 years, we have remained the overwhelming choice. Viking, unleash the warrior in you. The official ball of the APTA, the official ball of the National Championships and President's Cup, the official ball of the Grand Prix Series, and the official ball of the Fulton, Baird, and Regents Cup. And introducing the Viking Axe paddle, Jerry. Bold, unique, innovative, groundbreaking. A perfect blend of both worlds. All axe paddles combine the superior maneuverability of the Ozones with the oversized head and stability of the Reignites. At 88.9 square inches, it's a true oversized frame, but specifically designed with a longer handle to accommodate the two-handed backhand, one of the important shots in the modern game. Featuring Viking's proprietary Carbon Throat Stability System, CTSS2, for enhanced stability and shock reduction at contact. The axe has a massive sweet spot that it's very forgiving for balls hit outside of it. Viking, rule the court.
And it looks like Elliot Rodesno have left the court.
Well,
So-
they went to get lunch, Jerry.
No, well, that was your call on the 3-hour match. How are we doing on the timeline? I didn't see. While we have this opportunity, Patty, you want to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday? Now, change of formats, all part of the revamping of the APTA tour, and
Sure, a new event. Instead of the old President's Cup, the APTA went with a new model this year, and it was created by a couple of the guys and women at the top of the game, and in order to include them at national champions was one reason. We had the cup named after Steve Baird and Robin Fulton on the men's and women's side, and the top players in the country got to compete here at Huntington yesterday, and then for everybody else in the draw, and then some other people who wanted to join in the fun, there was a Regents Cup, and they played that out of Nassau. Tim Mangan ran the show out there. Tina Cavana, APTA president, was there. She coached a team. And it was just really a fun opportunity, Jerry, to play as part of a team in this sport, and great warm-up for everybody for the Nationals for the next 3 days.
yeah, it was a very fun event.
It was really fun, Jerry. I got to play. I think I played my first 4 sets in about 10 years of playing real paddle. And it was so fun to be out there with Robin Fulton. Bubba was on my team. Played a match with Tony Mang, and that was a blast from the past. My old Rutgers teammate, Jerry. It was just a great day. Got to meet a lot of lovely women.
How are your feet today?
My feet are great because I didn't have to play against you.
Let's explain that. The people can think I'm thumping your toes.
Well, Jerry, when we used to play each other, you had a tendency to play really long points and put these lobs exactly over my left shoulder and then stretch me all the way to my right and then move me back to my left, move me back to my right, and then left, right, left, right, left, right, and so on and so on and so on. So after about 25 years of that, I have permanent damage to my big toe on my right foot.
Well, my goal was to see if I can get you to go through a pair of sneakers in the match. That was my goal.
I almost did.
So back to these guys. Also, what's happening here with the new APTA tour is the cup. And these players are playing for points and prize money. So there's a $40,000 purse And for the men and the women, the top 4 players are playing for prize money here. There's the clear winners are Harnish and Zabori. They've clinched the first and second places. We'll talk about that more a little bit more later. Let's get into this second set with Radesno serving. Elliot and Radesno won the first set 7-6. If you're just joining us, they were down love 3 in the first set.
And this is such a high-level women's match. For those of you just tuning in, I mean, it's like watching the finals of a national championship or any APTA Tour final, and it's in the early going here, which makes it a little tough. Players accumulate points, and due to COVID, the last 2 seasons, Sherry, APTA went with kind of like a rolling system rather than just have it be on your current year of results. You could go back another year because players who didn't feel comfortable or weren't able to travel, we wanted to, APTA wanted to keep their points. They kind of held their points. So it was a great way to, thankfully we're a little healthier now and players can gather and players can travel around the country. And so next year we'll resume 1 season at a time.
Right. So
their points will drop after a year.
Right. So the point is we've got these guys seedings as 9. Curtis and Andrekova and Elliot Radesno are at 6.
Sure, and Curtis and Andrekova, top 5 in the country this year.
Right.
If you just went by the current season. So this is unfortunate a little bit, but it gives us a great match here.
That same return of serve going wide. It's really important that Curtis and Andrekova don't lose their composure right here. I mean, they led for most of that first set. Tight tie break. They're in this match. You don't want to let Elliot Radesno get too comfortable early here in the second set.
Yeah, and if you're Curtis and Andrekova, Jerry, you have to be thinking, what do we have to do? We just played a great set, and we ended up losing it. Now, what adjustments are we going to make? And I think, to your point, it's about maturity right now, just composure. And they've got to battle. They've got to keep the score close right now. You can't let Elliot and Radesno get out to an early lead here in this second set. And I just mean it can't be any self-inflicted wounds. They've got to really stay with the program. They played a wonderful first set, and they have got to stick with that.
This is Elliot Radesno's speed of play right now.
You know, I loved how Elliot just kept moving her feet, went over, followed the ball. Unfortunately, Andreeva didn't follow her. She just kind of got caught flat-footed there and flipped her paddle over and missed the volley.
Huge serve from Curtis.
Ball was out, called out. I think the umpire thought it was out.
15-30.
Let's see how Curtis responds, because I thought that was a good swing. I don't have the line to see, but the swing was good. Yeah.
Bummer.
That's always tough. Okay, deep breath here now. Good job. Drecker just dialed in with that overhead.
Radesno could be doing an instructional video on screenplay, Jerry, out of that ad court.
Yeah, nice get. Nice touch on that volley from Curtis. That could have just as easily popped
Yes.
along, right? Nice hands. Gutsy.
30-40.
I think that was the first nick that Radesno and Elliott have not covered for each other. That was amazing how that ball just shot parallel to that back screen, Jerry.
Huge move by Elliott. You can just feel the wind go out of the sails of Curtis and Ondrejka, but they've got to keep their head up. They've got to keep strutting. They've got to keep fighting that feeling of we let that tie break go.
Jerry, was that a set play? Elliott knew Radesno was going to go right at Ondrejkova?
I think it was a gut.
Okay.
I think it was a gut feeling. They're recognizing what's happening while it's happening. I still think Elliott.
Right.
Take
Jerry,
that ball.
I feel like you should go down on the court and tell her. You know, she doesn't see you pointing your fingers to where the lob should land.
I'm pretty animated about it because I want to make sure that you see it too.
Oh, seeing is believing, Jerry.
My hands are going. It's not good to be sitting too close to me here. I'm commentating. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, I need armor on my left arm.
Radesno have just locked into being, we're not going to miss. Yep, that's good. Curtis is jumping around. Come on, they've got to get this energy up. They've got to get the spark. That'll make you feel good. That's the play they need. Just get.
I mean, that's all you have to do? Hit 3 unbelievable ground strokes, Jerry?
You can't just sit back. You got to make it happen right now.
And, you know, that's the thing, Jerry. I think Curtis has risen. She's among, I would say, 5 or 6 players in the top of the women's game who can take the initiative and see the court in that way and knows how to create openings and take advantage of it. Has those incredible instincts.
Oh. And I was just about to say they've really just settled into we're not going to make an error. Not a lot of offensive plays. They're not, this is Elliot Rodesno, they're not lobbing and shifting and looking to set any offense up. They're just happy with where their lobs, the placement of their lobs, and waiting for a short ball. And Elliot is just dying to hit.
Right. She wants to hit that 2-handed backhand. I think she's hit 2, and they've been flyers. But that's what we're saying. I mean, she's learning, she's maneuvering through this match and managing the match.
And this is
without her A game here, Jerry.
Yeah. Yep. No, they're allowing the speed of play to dictate what's happening now. And Curtis and Andrekova have got to find a way to get the spark back. Take some chances. Got to hit their returner serves, but see if Andrekova can lob down the line and Curtis can sneak in and do some blitzing.
Jerry, what's coming up here this afternoon from Huntington?
We've got the men's round of 32. The guys are starting Friday afternoon, and then they'll play Saturday and Sunday as well. But our next scheduled stream match is the round of 32. I think that's 3:30.
3:30.
Scheduled for.
So the way they spaced out the matches for nationals, the women play 3 rounds. I know back in the day, Jerry, used to be 4 rounds that first day and 2 the second day. Now they've spread it out over a 3-day period, which is really nice for the players and will bring out the best in the players' abilities, I think.
Yeah, you get a chance to recover from some of those long battles.
I love the scheduling, Jerry, because it's nationals. It's the most important event, and it's what everyone shoots for to try to, get a chance to get into that final and give yourself a chance to grab a title. And few are lucky to get there. And it's not luck. It's a lot of work, as we know. You know all too well.
I like the speed and the aggressiveness of Curtis's overheads before. I think she's got to generate something here.
Jerry, I was thinking also about Andrekova. I feel like she's had opportunities on her overheads throughout this match. I feel like she could go for a little bit more. She's ripped an incredible amount of forehands cross court, hugely successful. But I feel like she kind of lays off her overheads a little bit. I would just love to see her have a little bit more explosiveness.
But what kind of overheads do you want her to hit? I mean, she hits that flat neck.
I'd like a little bit of like that cutter slide underneath, around and underneath the ball, Jerry. Keep the ball down low on this warm day. Just some kind of spin to control it, then she could pick up the speed of the shot.
Yeah, her feet have stopped moving like that shot there, get that ball off the back screen. She looks a little deflated right now. And Curtis is doing everything that she can to say, come on, let's go. Which is all the earmarkings of a good partner. Nice touch on that. Serious knee bending, which is hard to do when the temperature's that warm, and get your opponents to get down that low, get that ball to stay low. Oh, nice grab.
Little lucky. She was able to flip her paddle over, make that shot.
Curtis was moving forward.
Just lost in the sun, Jerry, maybe?
Yeah. And just the presence of Elliot and Radesno is a force right now.
Maybe she was sneaking a peek to see what their positioning was and forgot to look at the ball.
A point away from a 4-love lead in the second set to Elliot and Radesno.
You know, you can see when Curtis, well, that was not the ideal time for that. But to her credit, off the overhead, because of her spins, you know, she does create the movement in the chase for the baseline team, and I just feel like that's where Andreikova, if she could apply a little more pressure on her overheads as well to offset Curtis's, it would be spectacular. Huge point for Andreikova and Curtis. They needed that. You were right. They were feeling deflated, but Andreikova ran down that drop shot, Jerry, with a lot of encouragement from her partner.
Yeah, they got to find a way to get onto the scoreboard right here.
Ron Cummins is enjoying the action, just is finding this match unbelievable, just loving it. He said, holy cow, round of 16 match at Nationals.
There's the shot down the line.
There we go.
Catch them in a shift.
All right, a little bit of a spark, Jerry.
Yeah.
Just power. And Radesno sometimes drops that paddle head a little bit on her volley. Looks like she was like standing up, slightly backing up. Bad formula in warm weather to keep the ball in play.
And Curtis took that ball high and early and really thumped it. 5:40. Oh, no game. Well, I lost the score there.
Keep it together, Jerry.
Yeah,
you got
well.
this. You got this. We're early here at Nationals. I know you're back in the booth, but
No, that was a good game for them.
yeah, and that was an interesting play from Radesno. You know, right there to kind of be that indecisive. That ball was dipping. I think she had to play it all day. Or I always think when the score is critical, if it's close, you play the ball. If you're not in a position to run that ball back, you know, down off of a screen, you've got to make a volley.
Right. So you see Curtis is ready to go.
I think she's always ready to go, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean she went away a little bit early in the second set, but I feel like she's back.
And I just think that's, you know, withstanding the knowledge that you've played a great first set and you lost it, and trying to figure out what you have to do to win the match. Sometimes that consumes your mental part of it, and you lose a little bit on the physical side.
Nice deep lob right on the line. See the frustration from Andrakova. Timing just a little bit off on that ball where she really didn't miss early in the first set.
And we said because she hit everything cross court, like that is her shot. It's almost like that's what she needs to go back to right now.
Tremendous return off of a very good serve from Curtis.
And that's where Redesno can just bring the heat on return of serves, Jerry. When she gets dialed in, I love her power.
Yeah, that's her favorite shot.
Kind of a weird ball to switch on.
Yeah. Yeah. Redesno wasn't balanced.
Maybe she thought it was a weird ball to switch on as well, Jerry.
Oh. Lining up the neck.
See that overhead on Drakova hit there? That
Yeah.
one? That's what I'm saying. She used her legs, let that ball drop. Came under it a little bit, around it.
Add a little spin.
Mm-hmm.
Change the look. See, it's this lob now. When they've pulled Andrakova out wide, it's the lob, the next lob that they've got when they have an opening, because Andrakova doesn't always get back to the middle. And she doesn't really have to because the lobs are going pretty much back to the same place. Caught the neck.
Mm. All right, that's got to make Andrakova feel happier. Really good ball, good dipping ball. Force a volley error. Game point to get to 4-2. Again, that Redesno return of serve, just firing it at the net player off the serve. I mean, it just seems like no matter what the serve is, how good it is or not, she just gets her mind made up and crushes and is breaking them down on that volley.
That's a smart return up chest high. A little bit of an off pace. Got a couple of update scores quickly. Delmonico Gebbia are through with a win over Alexandra Lalic, 7-6, 6-1. And Morgan Sikora over Caravaggio Kvetic, 6-3, 6-1. And Nika Nicolescu over Anderson Bodman, 1 and 2.
Jerry, for over 20 years, Paddle Pro has been recognized as an industry leader in platform tennis. The knowledge, expert advice, vast inventory, and ultimate customer service will help any player find the perfect equipment to take your game to the next level. Paddle Pro is the only website to carry all platform tennis brands. For more information, go to www.paddlepro.com. Jerry, the score is 5-1. It doesn't feel like 5-1.
No, it doesn't feel like 5-1 at all.
You know it's good when your miss-hit volleys go for winners.
The breaks are going with them. Two-handed swinging backhand overhead cross court to the neck. Created a chase and then the opportunity to hit the drop shot. That is really gutsy play. But it's what they have to do. Get themselves back into this match.
They're putting on a great show for Dwayne Hayden, who's up there watching from the deck. Huntington Country Club. Host again of another national championship.
Again, Curtis, little spark.
Yep, I'm loving her overhead over into that ad court corner. Really stretching Radesno out here.
And the combination of a huge return of serve followed in with a blitz. Creating the opening and then a touch overhead. Back in the corner. Great speed, great placement, and 5-2.
And Jerry, when you call that a touch overhead, I think that's what I'm saying about Curtis. I feel like she has that it factor to her where she really understands where an opening is and how softly you hit a ball to that spot. Very much like Vicky Stoklasova and how she broke down opponents with those finesse. She just maneuvered people off of her overhead, those little shots. And there was an opening, but you see a lot of club level players who would hit that ball hard, and then all of a sudden, the person trailing the play can retrieve it.
Curtis was under the mentorship of Vicky Stoklasova for several years there.
I never saw Vicky jump up and down like that, though.
No. Curtis understands that she's got to be aggressive here with these overheads. And this is a battle of wills here. Desno's trying to lob down the line, force them to hit over to Elliott. Yeah, but Desno is just like a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's attack and counterattack here. Yep.
Wow.
Well played. Well played. The tables turned there with Curtis Andrekova dictating play.
And again, I just am so impressed with Curtis's play out of that ad court and just her overhead variety. I love what she's doing, moving these guys around. And she's really making Redesno Elliott come up with the goods on their screenplay.
Huge return of serve.
I mean, whose return of serve is better today, Andrekova's or Redesno's? Maybe Redesno's on key points. She's had a lot of nerve and has gone for stuff and just been able to hit those dipping balls, you know, forcing a couple of volley errors on key points.
Elliott Redesno just playing a very conservative, measured game here. Taking no chances, high percentage shots through the middle.
Again, Curtis did a good job handling Redesno's return to serve there. But I like how she just tests, she continues to test the net player. Just see if they can come up with it, and if they do, it doesn't matter. Then the point begins there. This is where I feel like Elliott just wants to crush this return to serve. But she's just going to make sure she makes them come up with a volley.
Yeah, she wasn't ready.
I think they were taking a little time there and trying to control the pace of play.
That's a good overhead from Curtis. Good spin. Rodesno has settled into that look that she had in Darien. The longer this match has gone, the more her shot selection has improved.
What an adjustment right there.
Little twirling action. And Elliott has accepted the fact that she's not going to get a lot of looks. With her backhand drive, it's just find another way.
Now, do you think they should be hitting more to Elliott?
No.
Because Rodesno's done such a magnificent job?
I like what Curtis is doing right now, and I think it's what she needs to do. She's focused on her strategy, and she's hitting a different combination of spins. She's not reacting to them. She's dictating. Kind of, they went away from that early in the second set. They were let the disappointment of that tie break. Man, what a point. Got to be the longest rally of the match, Patty. Smart shot. Oh, she got it. Oh! That's like a shovel flick lob on the line.
Setting up match point, Jerry.
Routine. Point of the match there, Patty.
Yeah, that was great. And I love the touch shot. And the fact that she ran that down, kept that ball in play. Really.
All four players showing incredible poise. Well, that's a disappointing way to end, but what a match we were treated to. Andrekova, Curtis came out on fire, went up early in the first set with just some spectacular playmaking, and it was fun to watch Elliott and Rodesno work their way through that first set. You know, they didn't give up. They were making a bunch of unforced errors early, but once you saw them lock into their style, which I haven't seen as much of this season. That's what we saw in Darien out of Rodesno. I think Curtis Andrekova did a great job of shutting down the firepower of Elliott, but Elliott, to her credit, you know what? It's not here for this match. I'm just going to eliminate the unforced errors. And then the whole confidence swing that happens, you know, they just rode that tiebreak win into the second set and went off to a quick 3-love lead, and it was hard for Curtis and Andrekova to bounce back. I got a couple more updates before we go on the other round of 16. Where are we up to? Anika Nicolescu are through over Anderson Bodman, 1 and 2. Gio Williamson over Cran Herschel, 6-2 in the third. Shea Sutter over Spiz Tonero, 1 and 3. And Hanish Zabori over Manly Ruoff, 3 and love. So all of our seeds have come through.
Yeah, and Jerry, we just said this is an unfortunate matchup in the round of 16s because really both of these teams are amazing platform tennis teams, and it's a shame someone had to hit each other here because both of these teams were in the discussion for teams that could possibly end up, on Sunday
Upsets.
in the finals.
Upsets. I mean, like you explained, even though they're seeded 6th and 9th for the nationals. They could take out any of the 1 or number 2 seeds. So kudos to Elliot and Radesno for finding a way to come through at Nationals. So, fun doing the match with you, Patty. We will be back tomorrow morning with the women's quarterfinals at 9, but we're going to be on this afternoon at 3:30 with the guys' round of 32.
32.
All right, and that is a wrap.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you.
Patty, good job.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.